Hey guys, it's Bree Seasony and welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, you know that I'm an NCitizen and 127 is my favorite unit, so of course I'm here to review 127's fourth mini album repackage and title track, Ayo. Like I'm sure many of you Seasonies have, I've been highly anticipating this release, so I want to get right into it. But before I do, I want to thank my channel members. Special thanks to Silent Knight, aka Soph from Discord, who recently joined the channel, and I also want to thank Sarah, Kiyotaki, Misa, Kaylin, Vermilion, and Alice Loves Cherry. I appreciate all of your support so much and I hope you like this video. Now let's get right into the review, starting with my first impression before Ayo dropped. First I want to talk about the concept photos. I usually get super excited about 127's concept photos because their concepts are usually pretty cool and innovative to me. I mean, with Two Baddies we got futuristic shots of the boys with race car driver themes, and with Sticker we got NCT Go's Neo Cowboy. I liked the first round of Ayo concept photos. They were really cute, featuring a summery West Coast theme and bright colorscape with the boys posing leisurely outside. I'm pretty sure these shots were taken when the boys were on tour and in LA. When the second round of Ayo concept photos dropped, I was a bit underwhelmed. I mean, they weren't horrible per se, but I guess I expected something more powerful. They featured shots of the boys wearing black and white, and the group photos showed the boys outside somewhere with a cityscape backdrop. The third round of concept photos, or the photos from the Digipack version of the album, are the set of shots that I liked the most. I just personally found them to be the most interesting, with shadowy close-ups of the Neos with black and red backgrounds, which definitely fits the theme of the Ayo music video. But I guess overall, the concept photos didn't exactly blow me away. Ultimately, I think I expected more from this repackage since it was delayed as much as it was. As a reminder, Two Baddies, 127's only comeback in 2022, dropped in November, and Ayo was supposed to drop during the last quarter of 2022 as well. But SM ended up pushing it back. But despite all of that, I of course was still really looking forward to the comeback. I really liked the pre-release track video DJ. It definitely built the hype for me even more, and my excitement only grew once the Ayo music video teaser dropped. The Ayo music video teaser had me very optimistic. It started out with a shot of Mark on his icy girl behavior. I mean, look at him here, he was definitely iced out. I loved the red lighting that we got to see in the teaser, and the synths in the track immediately hit me like a brick in a good way. I also had high hopes for the track because producer Dem Joints and Calixte, I think is how you say his name, the writer who made the demo for Sticker, both worked on the track, as well as other big names like Kenzie and Adrian McKinnon. Now, let's move on to my honest opinion of the Ayo title track and album. 15 seconds into Ayo, I immediately was like, okay, I really like the beat of this song. To me, Ayo is a hip-hop dance track with a very addicting beat, powerful synths, especially during the chorus, and a catchy piano motif that's apparent throughout the song. The piano here actually reminded me of the piano in NMIX's Tank. Which, when you think about it, isn't that surprising since Dem Joints worked on Tank as well. Whereas some of NCT's title track, like Cherry Bomb and Two Baddies, are very explosive and larger than life from the very beginning, Ayo is a track that has more of a build-up and consistent groove. The chorus is also very strong, with the back and forth between the rap line, vocal line, and the two coming together to chant the Ayo refrain. One thing I love about this song is the fact that it feels very balanced, especially coming after Two Baddies, a title track that I wasn't really crazy about and felt very unbalanced to me personally. The instrumental and cadence of the song really allows the listener to enjoy both the stunning vocal parts and rap parts led by Taeyong, Mark, and Jaehyun. And yes, rapper Jaehyun made another appearance in this title track, and I am so here for it. I could be wrong, but I think he actually has more rap parts than vocal parts. In fact, he might actually have like no standalone vocal parts in this song. I think he just has rap parts. But anyway, Jaehyun is definitely an all-rounder. Like I mentioned before, I love the cadence of this song. There are a lot of parts where the members take a short break from their lines. There is no rapping or singing going on at all, but the beat just kind of flows until they pick up their lines again. Some people might not like this, quote, emptiness of the track, but to me, it makes the song even more catchy and fun to groove to. I want to quickly talk about some of the highlights of the song for me. First off, I mentioned Jaehyun before, and I have to mention him again. His rapping, especially his part in the second verse, was insane. He truly devoured his lines, and I loved how it was followed up with bars from Taeyong and then Mark. I also loved Mark's rap part in the second verse, as well as his little dance break here in the music video. I was like, okay, Mark Lee, he truly went off, and this was one of the most memorable parts of the music video for me. I also appreciate how Taeil got more lines and screen time in AO, because I'm sure some of you might have noticed that this wasn't the case in 2Baddies. I'm gonna include this clip of Taeil here because I was literally cheering him on during the first time I watched this music video. He killed it. We also got justice for Johnny. All of his lines were fire in this track. I loved his rap parts during the pre-chorus, and the shots with him having a back and forth with both Yuta and Jungwoo were really cool. I also need to take a moment to appreciate Haechan. I was dying at his little pimp walk during the first verse of the song. It added like 20 years to my lifespan. It was something that I didn't know I needed to see. And as always, Haechan's vocals were absolutely stunning, but that shouldn't surprise anyone. I think all of Yuta's parts were pretty powerful, but I have to say he noticeably got very few lines in this song, and that was a little disappointing for me. However, I now have to take a moment to talk about main slayer Doyoung. Doyoung has quickly risen to the top of my NCT bias list, along with Taeyong and Ten, and he really stood out to me during this comeback. First of all, he had a mullet going on, and it was working. But anyway, my favorite part of the song is definitely the bridge. Jungwoo and Doyoung absolutely nailed this part of the song, but Doyoung's part especially really did it for me. Tell me, baby, I just love his voice, and I've said this before, but if there's one thing either Doyoung or Jungwoo are gonna do, it's kill a bridge. They are like bridge slayers for me personally, as well as Haechan. I also loved how drastically the scenery changed in the music video here, since the bridge was such a deviation sonically from the rest of the track's soundscape and took more of an ethereal vibe, and the scenery did the same. I also really enjoyed the theme of the music video, with NCT 127 in the quote Neo Museum having become works of art and showcasing their talents and colors as artists. I found the music video really stunning, with a ton of shots that really stood out to me, like the bridge scene that I mentioned before, Doyoung posing in the tunnel, Mark rapping with a holographic figure riding a bike behind him, Taeil singing with a gorgeous galaxy-like effect above him, Taeyong's extremely bold spiked hairstyle, Johnny grooving in a blue lit hallway, and pretty much every shot of Jaehyun, if I'm being real. I also thought the choreography for AO was really cool, with the members doing a lot of small and structured movements in unison, coupled with some more explosive moments like Taeyong's here that were really powerful. I can't wait to see a dance practice as well as live performances so I can appreciate the choreo even more. I think my only complaint about this song is it ends a little bit too abruptly for me. I think a really powerful outro or a rearranged final chorus here at the end could have given the song more of a punch at the finish and left more of an impression, but that's just my personal opinion. On top of that, justice for Yuta. I would have loved for Yuta to have gotten more lines. Is that too much to ask for? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Is AO one of my favorite 127 title tracks? I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but I do really enjoy it, and I'm really excited about that since I didn't like 2Baddies. Although I like the more controlled or subdued sound the track takes on, I can see how it might feel a little bit underwhelming when compared to some of NCT's more layered or noisy tracks to some consistent listeners or NCTzens. However, I think the boys were still able to preserve their neo sound while simultaneously taking on a more minimalistic hip-hop dance track, and I really respect that. I'm also looking forward to seeing the Neos perform it like I mentioned before. Besides AO, the repackage also featured two new tracks, DJ and Skyscraper. Skyscraper is a really high energy song, kind of led by the rap line, like they really killed it, and the bridge is also immaculate. I love Jaehyun's parts here as well as Jungwoo's. At this point, I don't think Dem Joints can make a bad song, like I think it's pretty much impossible for him. DJ is really interesting too. It's a very smooth, soulful retro track with a groovy feel. The wonderful feeling refrain of this song has been stuck in my head since I listened to it. It's so catchy and the harmonies throughout the song are just gorgeous. So overall, I really enjoyed the AO repackage, and I look forward to seeing the Neos perform the title track, and I'm also wondering if they'll promote DJ or Skyscraper on music shows. But like always, I want to know what you guys think. Did you like AO? Do you prefer 2Baddies? What did you think of the other two new tracks on the repackage, Skyscraper and DJ? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already joined my server, make sure to do so. It's a really great, fun, safe space for you to talk about K-pop, and there are also tons of NCTzens in my server, but whether you're an NCTzen or a multi-fan, you'll definitely fit right in. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.